So we jumped ahead a little bit to a different part here. I'm gonna start this up. The phone is ringing, and the chop shop guy answers the phone.
Aurelia speaking.
This guy.
I heard you struck my son.
Yes, sir, I did.
May I ask why?
Yeah, well, because he stole John Wick's car, sir, and killed his dog.
All right, so the only reason we include that last scene where he calls on the phone and he's like, "You struck my son," because that's a really cool scene. You know, he's like, "You struck my son," and he's like, "Why?" "Killed his dog." See, you don't kill dogs. I keep telling you guys that. It's important. Don't kill dogs. It's bad. He killed his dog. He just said, "Oh," and hung up. That's good stuff. Okay, so we're jumping ahead to the spot where John Wick gets captured by the gangster, the boss, and we're gonna stop here because it speaks to John Wick's motivation and about the connection that a person could have with the dog. There is no dog in this scene, but this explains a lot about the story and about how his wife, like why it was a good idea for him, for his wife to get him a dog, you know, as a gift in this situation. She knew she was gonna die. She knew that what that would cause him. Clearly, she knows him very well, but this explains a lot of that. So here we go. Let's see what happens. So John Wick is tied here, looks like handcuffed to a chair. It wouldn't be John Wick without a little bit of blood on his head. I don't know how this guy doesn't get concussions. I don't know. There'll be concussions all over the place, but whatever.
The sure as fuck broke the mold with you. Aye.
So, if you're ever a bad guy in a movie, just kill the guy. You know, stop talking to people. Like if you're a bad guy in a movie, all this talking is gonna cause you problems every time. I've never seen that work out well.
I can say you're still very much the John Wick of old.
And why?
Just sitting there.
People don't change. You know that. Times they do. Do you know what was in that vault? Artwork cash, not without its worth, but the leverage I had on this city. Audio recordings, physical evidence, blackmail was fucking priceless!
The guy's throwing a temper tantrum. This happens all the time with bad guys.
Yeah.
Sitting down, standing up, moving around.
Yeah, I know you did. Yeah. You did that.
That's another thing. If you know you're gonna be punching the guy in the head and you know that you have soft hands, why'd you wear gloves? I mean, don't stand to hit the guy, oh, my hand. Why are you doing that? Think ahead, come on, people.
Yeah, well, you had your wife, I had my son. And believe me, you had a far better deal, you know. And then you left. And the way you got out, lying to yourself that the past held no sway over the future. But in the end, a lot of us are rewarded for our misdeeds. Which is why God took your wife and unleashed you upon me. This life follows you.
I guess I stopped this a little early. I should have just went straight to the part where John Wick was talking. But this is all right, too.
We are cursed, you and I.
On that, we agree.
Finally, common ground. Okay.
Step aside. Give me your son.
So he just said, step aside and give me your son. So he said he could live after all this.
Baba Yaga. It was just a fucking car, just a fucking dog.
Just a dog.
Here's where we get the explanation. Listen close.
Yeah.
When Ellen died, I lost everything. Until that dog arrived on my doorstep. A final gift from my wife. In that moment, I received some semblance of hope. An opportunity to grieve unalone. And your son took that from me. Stole that from me. Killed that from me! People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. So you can either hand over your son, or you can die screaming along.
All right, so that is John Wick having a mental breakdown after getting his dog killed. And you can see there the emotion involved in that. So if you're a bad guy and you think it's a good idea to kill a dog to get back at somebody, once again, for maybe the 5th time in this video or 6th time in this video, I'm saying, don't kill the dog. It's always gonna be a bad idea. It's always gonna be a bad idea. And here we have the mental breakdown. He goes in here and he's talking about how the dog is helping him mourn his wife, you know, and that it was something that he actually did need. Dogs are good for that. You know, I've heard that a lot. I've seen that a lot. You know, just getting up and having to walk the dog is really good way to keep yourself motivated and to keep yourself active. You know, but you have to make sure, once again, when you're given that gift, that you're giving it to the right person. A lot of times, this kind of starts to touch on emotional support animals and those kind of ideas, which dogs can be really good for emotional support. You know, they can be really good for emotional support, but the way they do it is not by being something that's really cuddly. At least this is my opinion as a dog trainer. The way they do it is not by being something that's really cuddly and has no rules, because that's going to cause more trauma later. The way they do it is by giving us structure, you know, because we have to provide structure for the dog, so it causes us to provide structure for ourselves, and that structure helps us to get past the things in life that might be difficult for us. You know, because it makes us do certain things and helps us get by. So, yeah, I could understand what he says. Mental breakdown, that's going to happen when you're killing people's dogs. And yeah, so let's see where this goes. I think from here, though, I think the rest of this, we'll skip to the other scene where a dog pops in. All right, so at this point, this is leads into that first scene where he crashes the car, and now oh, look at this. He's in a vet's office. It looks like a vet's office. It looks like a dog kennel at the same time. You know, it looks like there's some medical supplies. He's clearly broken up and hurt. Oh, that doesn't look good. He's pouring what looks like iodine on a wound. And he's stapling himself together. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I'm sure that wasn't clean. He's going to get an infection from that. There's no way he could not get an infection from that. I don't care how many antibiotics he takes. Oh, but what's this? He sees something. It's a pity, people. Leave that dog there. Don't steal their dog. Mr. Wick, don't steal the dog. I think he's gonna steal the dog, you guys. He's gonna.
It's okay. Let's go.
He told the dog it's okay, and he said, let's go home. That could almost start another John Wick. That's where John Wick 2 should probably pick up, with the person coming back to get their dog from the vet, like, where's my dog? Somebody stole him. And then now there could be a whole nother movie about how John Wick dies. So Frank pointed out that the Pitbull that he was stealing or rescuing from the inside the vet. It looks like on the sign next to it says put down. So I guess they're gonna put that young pit bull down, which is really sad. But pit bulls are put down a lot in America, a lot. You could get into that. We could research that later. We could get into that, but it is one of the saddest things that we see in America with the pit bulls. Yeah, so it's a young dog. It looks to me like he's like 6 months, 8 months old. The face doesn't even look fully developed on the dog. But yet, you know, people are irresponsible sometimes in their breeding. Sometimes maybe that dog was a gift that somebody gave to somebody and couldn't handle it. You know, we don't know. So, yeah, let's see here. I'll just finish this up. It does say put down on that. And that was a good eye, Frank. Such a nice pit bull. This guy's so lucky. He gets such nice dogs, man. I mean, that beagle was something special. If anybody comes across a beagle like that, please let me know. That beagle was special. And this pit bull can't walk very well on a leash. Zigzags left to right, pulls on the leash a bit, but pretty nice young dog as well that he just stole from the shelter. But it was gonna be put down, so I could understand that. So, yeah. If you're already broken and you're doing a lousy job stitching yourself up and you look over and you see a pit bull that's gonna be put down, you have my go-ahead to steal that pit bull. Go ahead and take that pit bull. You know, it might not be morally correct, but moral, whatever. Take the pit bull. You only have so much time anyway because you have an infection growing in you. So what's the worst thing that could happen, you know? All right, guys. If you like this video and if you like what you see here, we're gonna make more videos like this. If you see other movies that have dogs in them, please just drop in our comments and I'll take a look at them and we'll see what we can do if we would like to take a look and talk about some of the scenes that the dogs are in. If you like what you see here, definitely subscribe to our channel. Check the description below for our other social media outlets and enjoy your day and enjoy your dog. Good movie. Check it out. I didn't watch John Wick 2 yet, but I will be checking that out to see what that's about. Yeah, he stole that dog. He stole the dog from the rescue after he did a surgical or a procedure on himself where he didn't even take off his shirt. He just lifted it up, poured the stuff on there and stapled it together. Come on, man. There's germs in there. There's germs in there. There's bacteria growing in there. It's gross. He should have cleaned that up better or go to the hospital, have a doctor do that. But then again, that could be tough because then you have to explain what happened. And that's going to be tough because then they're going to call the police and be like, this guy just, yeah. So you're in a tough position, but that's not how you clean a wound. Anyway, don't steal pit bulls. And that's the story.